Going on, guys? It's the Variety Film Brothers. I'm Andrew.
I'm Thomas.
Welcome to Variety Discussion. In today's video, we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 4, The Foundling, and I think we can both agree that this is the best episode in the season so far. Dude, it is nuts. It is so good. Like, I think we kind of stopped writing notes halfway through because we were just our eyes were just glued to that screen, man. It was so good. But we'll try to, get it all sorted out. So the episode starts out with Grogu kind of being forced into playing with the other kids, except the Mandalorian version of playing with the other kids is to beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Or in this case, shooting paintballs. Dude, we both thought that was like some kind of blow dart at first. And so when Paz's kid, Ragnar, which is also something that was confirmed, is that the kid we saw put on his helmet and join the Creed in the first episode is actually Paz Vizsla's son, something that people were speculating about. But anyway, he's going up against Grogu, and I really thought that he just blew a dart right into Grogu's poor little torso, and I was kind of freaking out, dude. I was like, what are we doing? Why are we torturing Grogu this week? But no, they're just paintballs, and like I said, we see Grogu use the Force to jump around like crazy. Very much so like Yoda in Attack of the Clones, now that I think about it. So maybe Yoda really is Grogu's father. Maybe being able to jump around like that is some kind of genetic thing. I don't know. What do you think?
You watched a pro at work.
Yep, he did. He had his own Star Wars marathon. They watched the prequels and the originals and hopefully stopped there.
Yeah, Yoda was teaching Grogu all the flips and all the twirls that he did in the past.
Yep, it obviously looks much better here because it's a practical, puppet they're using and not like a half-decent CG model from 2002. But it's a really great scene. And later on, Ragnar gets kidnapped by some dragon thing. I don't know if we know what that is. I'm sure somebody is going to tell me what it is and be like, wow, you fake fan, how did you not know that? But so Ragnar gets captured, and then we cut back to Grogu for a little bit. This episode, The Foundling, is definitely centered on Grogu. Despite that, I'd say about only half the episode focuses on him, but the half that we do get on Grogu is some fantastic stuff. And just a small thing that I really liked, when Grogu was walking back into the cave, I really like how we get some really low angle shots that are supposed to be from his perspective, because I don't think we've really done that before, which is kind of crazy because we're 3 seasons into this show, and that seems like a pretty standard thing to do. But so while Grogu is watching the armorer make some armor, as she does, he gets his PTSD triggered and we start to go through his backstory with him as he's thinking about it. And of course, that means going back to Order 66, as it was foreshadowed in the Book of Boba Fett. And I don't think it was before then, right? I think that was the first time we saw that Grogu was connected to Order 66. I don't think that happened in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Yeah, no, it was just Book of Boba Fett. It's felt like an eternity, though, because so many people have been waiting on this backstory. It feels like we've been sitting on it for years. But so we see Grogu being taken out of the temple and given to this Jedi whose name I've already forgotten. But he, have in my notes here, is played by Ahmad Best, and I'm so glad that they were able to bring him back in a much more, dignified role, not something, as embarrassing as Jar Jar, because the guy's a good actor, and I don't even think he played Jar Jar badly. I think Jar Jar is just kind of a stupid concept. So it was really great to see him again and getting to play a Jedi, and not to mention dual wielding as well. I don't think we've seen a Jedi dual wield since Attack of the Clones with Anakin.
I don't think so either.
So why haven't we done that in 21 years? That's, took long enough. But so it's just awesome to be back on Coruscant. It's so awesome to see the clone troopers, especially the shock troopers. First time seeing shock troopers since Revenge of the Sith, and these are practical shock troopers as well. They're not CGI. It still looks good in Revenge of the Sith in my opinion, but just really, really great to see here. And unfortunately, the flashback ends as soon as they leave the planet. And man, how long are they going to drag this out for? I mean, like, I really thought it was going to be like another side episode, kind of like last week's was, except for this one, like, this one would be a lot more plot relevant. So I was hoping we'd stay on that for the rest of the episode, but unfortunately, we cut back, and I don't have a lot of notes on this part, but the rescue scenes, or the scenes where they rescue Ragnar, are done pretty well. And I actually like that Paz Vizsla is actually kind of concerned, because we've kind of only ever seen him be sort of a prick.
Yeah.
Especially to Din. And I think he's a little suspicious of Bo-Katan as well. But it's really nice to actually see him care about his kid here. Definitely makes him a little bit more likable. And these creatures are done really well too.
Yeah.
They look fantastic.
They do.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy too how much like the camera moves like with the creature too. Like that's like hard stuff.
The cinematography of this episode is really good. Like the shots where they're just walking or at the campfire or going up the hill or mountain, I should say. But it's all really well done. It looks really good.
Yeah, it does. It honestly kind of surprised me because I don't think we saw anything like that in the last episode.
I don't think so either. So, yeah, definitely good to see. But like I said, I definitely think Bo-Katan is planning something. I really was not expecting this. She commissions the armorer to make her a new shoulder pad since she loses one in battle, but I think she was honestly probably going to ask for it anyway. So she asks for a new shoulder pad with the mythosaur on it. And so now she is wearing both the symbols of the night owl and the mythosaur, which I don't think has ever been done in Mandalorian history. I'm surprised the armorer was okay with it. That sounds like something that she'd be like, this is not the way, you can't believe you even asked this. I should kick you out for saying that. I thought that was going to be like a point of tension between them, but nope, she does it. And she's got I'm pretty sure it was a silver shoulder pad.
Yeah.
Oh, which reminds me, Grogu also gets a piece of armor in this episode, a little chest piece, although it does look like a shoulder pad. She says he'll grow into it, so maybe it's supposed to be a shoulder pad. I don't know. But I really want to know what Bo-Katan is playing, what game she's playing here, because I don't think she's honestly, like, converted to this cult. I don't think she's genuinely like, yeah, I really want to be a part of this group with you guys. I really want to be a real Mandalorian or whatever. I think she kind of has something up her sleeve, especially, like, something that could involve getting the Darksaber, because that's really the main thing she cares about.
Yeah. Maybe she thinks that if she kills the creature, then maybe she has right to the Darksaber, even though that's not really how that works. Even though
maybe, I really don't know. And she still hasn't told Din about it, but she told the armorer about it, which makes me wonder if the armorer will tell Din about it, or maybe she just won't care. I really don't know.
Probably just doesn't care.
Probably not. The armorer is actually very passive in this episode. She was kind of like very strict in the Book of Boba Fett. Like when Mando had said that he had taken off his helmet, she was like, "Well, you're out, dude.
Yeah,
you're done." But now in this episode, she's kind of just more like, it's all good.
Yeah. I mean, you taking your helmet during lunch, it's okay.
It's fine. Totally fine. But do you have anything else written down? I actually already went through all of my notes.
I mean, we got to see some gunships.
We did. I'm so glad you said that. The Republic gunships are my favorite Star Wars ships just ever. So seeing those again in live action for the first time since probably Revenge of the Sith was so cool. Yeah. So cool, dude. Like I love the clone troopers and all of their arsenal, all of their vehicles, all that. So it was just fantastic to see. I was really hoping we would get some Clone Wars flashbacks in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Never really got it. So it's really good to finally see it here. And this episode ties into the prequels. Last episode is most likely tying into the sequels. I think everyone's kind of catching on to what they're doing here. So it's really nice to see at least one Star Wars series that like openly acknowledges all the timelines, or it's all one timeline, but all the eras. That's the word. Of Star Wars, because like I'm not a fan of the sequels. I'll say that straight up. But there are people who are. You know what I mean? And just as I love the prequels, there are people that hate the prequels as much as I hate the sequels. And it's really nice to have a show that's actually like acknowledging it all and like attempting to connect it all together. You know, like there are a lot of people who say they can write a better Star Wars story than whatever movie it is that, you know, they're talking about or show or whatever, but I honestly don't think most people would be mature enough to actually acknowledge, you know, like the trilogy or movie that they don't like.
Or at least do the research to make
Exactly. But you can tell that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, you can tell they care.
Yeah.
And that they're like doing a really good job of being unbiased. Because like I think a lot of people just assume that they also hate the sequels, but like, you know, what evidence do we really have of that? Why would they even really hate the sequels? You know what I mean? I mean, the great thing is that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Like they're doing such a good job at like I said, acknowledging all of the eras of Star Wars that like I couldn't tell you what like Dave Filoni's favorite Star Wars movie is or his least favorite. I'd say his favorite is probably Empire Strikes Back because a lot of people just really love Empire Strikes Back. Not that that's a bad thing, but you know, this show is just really something special. Is my point.
Yeah, it like. I'm not gonna lie, like in the first 3 episodes, I was thinking, okay, like there's some interesting stuff here, and in this episode, it's like, expanding.
Yeah, we're finally getting some more pieces of the bigger story here. Definitely not as quickly as I would like to, but you know we're getting there, and I mean they've basically confirmed that this show's gonna have like 3 more seasons, so. We could be waiting for quite a while longer to really know what's going on here.
Yeah.
So that being said, what would you say is your score for this episode?
Okay, so there's some small like nitpicks that I have in this episode, obviously. So
Same.
But I think it's really good, so I would give it a 98.
Really?
I would give it a 98. It's just small little like pet peeves that I have about this episode, but I give it a 98.
That's a very good score. I'd have to give it a 91. So we both give it an A. Which I think is totally deserving of. So definitely watch this one as fast as you can. I was spoiled for it twice, unfortunately, and I still managed to have a great viewing experience. Dude, this season is going to be so great to like rewatch once it's all out, like to just binge through later on.
Yeah.
Like seasons 1 and 2, you can't really do that with as well because a lot of them are really like more like kind of one-off episode, like self-contained episodes. Not all of them, you know. They obviously still have a running story, but like a lot of them are kind of just like one-off episodes. And this season, it really does feel more like a solid, like thorough story, like a narrative. You know what I mean? And I've really been enjoying it.
Yeah, like. Some of like episodes that we see or like series that we see, they kind of like jump ahead from like different timelines, and it kind of gets all confusing. This feels like one stretched, very like detailed story that really makes you connect with it, and it's great.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see where it's gonna go. Like the Bad Batch, we have been watching the Bad Batch.
1 episode.
2 episodes. Actually.
2 episodes.
2 episodes. I don't think we're gonna cover the Bad Batch on this channel. If you guys haven't really been able to tell. Because really we've only enjoyed 2 episodes out of the whole season so far. So sorry about that. If you want to see Bad Batch, it's probably not going to happen on this channel. But I think we've actually gotten everything wrapped up on this one. I really don't have much to complain about at all. I mean, I could rant about how I would have liked to see Hayden Christensen back or Samuel L. Jackson back as Mace Windu, you know, even if it's just, you know, him like falling from the, you know, into frame and then out of frame, you know, or like the Emperor or something. But I mean, you can't throw in too many cameos because then it just kind of gets too fan servicey because the sequels are really bad about that. But at least Hayden would have been really cool to see. I don't think that would have felt too forced. But, you know, he has a life, probably. He can't just, you know, come in any day that I want him to.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think that about wraps us up, man. This was a pretty quick one.
Yeah. I do, like, you would think that, like, Hayden wouldn't mind for, like, one scene that would take 5 minutes to shoot. But, I mean, I don't know, like...
I don't think he would mind at all. I think they don't want to pay him.
yeah, which is really sad.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that wraps us up. Anything else you wanted to say?
Nope.
No? All right, well... thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Be sure to like and comment down below. if you have something to say about this episode. And subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.